Hi guys, and welcome back to Tried It podcast, where we'll be discussing all things from millennial struggles to relationships and love and everything in between. I'm Kadisha.
I'm Jade.
And I'm Maya.
Welcome back, everyone.
Yes.
Maya always starts off the episode eating sweets, and it
Yes.
does my head in.
I have to say, in the studio there is a lovely assortment of sweets and crisps and chocolate, so we fully just like munch out in the beginning. Well, I do. I fucking have a feast out here. Yeah, so today I guess we're going to kind of talking about different relationships and stuff like that.
No, how was your day? No one cares, no?
No, time's of the essence, my friend. We are
fine.
ticking.
Well, my day was fine, thanks for asking.
Okay, so first of all, we were kind of talking about, I feel like we've spoken about this a few times before between us, like in private. So I found it interesting to kind of read a bit more about it, and I think that my views have kind of changed a little bit. Like the more I've kind of read about it, the more I've understood it, and it's actually really interesting. So at first we were kind of wondering, like, what is an open relationship? Because I feel like all these terms kind of come around, like what is polyamory, what is an open relationship? It's kind of confusing. But basically there's kind of either open relationships or closed relationships. So, you know, typically you just have a couple, and if it's a monogamous relationship, like you're not seeing other people, you kind of just stay within each other, like stay within the relationship, you don't see other people. But an open relationship it's just a non-monogamous relationship, so you are able to see other people, whatever that may be. So it's kind of like it's like an umbrella term, right? So it's kind of just like, it's very broad. Typically people view like open relationships as you have a primary couple who are open to sexual contact with other people. So typically, I mean, this could be like a married couple or like a long-term commitment couple that takes on third or fourth or fifth or other people whose involvement in the role is always kind of secondary kind of thing. So you kind of still keep like the main couple as the primary relationship. So that can be like swinging, like there's a term called like monogamish. It's kind of like, you know, you're kind of still
monogamy,
like maybe date, you know, maybe
ish.
like sleeping around people, but you know.
Do you know what? Who makes these things up?
And obviously the one that always gets people is polygamy.
Oh yeah.
Polygamy isn't polyamory. Polyamory is what we're describing now, which is when you have more.
No, we're describing open relationships.
But what is polyamory then?
Is that, yeah? Let's do this.
Alright, my bad. See?
From the video, polyamory is polygamous is when you're married to multiple people. Polyamory is just a relationship.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
polygamy is when a man has multiple wives.
Or
Can it be a
either,
woman
I
have
don't know,
multiple husbands?
actually.
'Cause in the red table talk, it just said the man.
No,
one.
I think it is when like
Either
either
or
could have
Yeah.
more than one marriage, I think. Like polyamory, like obviously you guys please email us or let us know if this is wrong, because I think when we were looking it up, there's a lot of debate on like what these things mean. There's not one strict definition, and I think it is something that's kind of relatively new.
It's definitely
and so
a grey
people
area.
are definitely like working out the kind of the definitions and the terms and what exactly it means. So obviously let me know if you guys have any ideas. Just email us, let us know.
And let us know if you're in this type of
Yes,
relationship.
we want to know. We were thinking of even maybe doing another episode where having like someone on that is in one of these relationships who could tell us more about it themselves. So yeah, hit us up. But polyamory, it's basically when you love more than one person. It's kind of like more of like a proper relationship. It's more of like that aspect as opposed to simply just like sex. And so this can be a couple or like a group kind of thing. So you can have like 3 of you that are like in a relationship together, like 4 of you that are in a relationship together, like however many, like you are all in this together, and you
They called it a throuple.
Yeah. So it could be like throuple, quadruple.
Can we just pause there for a second?
Yeah.
So, for me, the reason I've actually been thinking about this, not like to do it, but I've been actually widening my brain through talking about it. I've watched a couple programs on it. I watched the Red Table Talk with Jada Smith. If you haven't watched it, do that. And I listened to a podcast today called Multiamory, the Multiamory podcast, where it's like a group of people who all have polyamorous relationships, all talk about things like that. And the thing for me is, because of the life I lead, for me to even have one partner takes a lot out of me.
Yeah.
So to think of more than one would be really difficult, especially if it wasn't just sex. Not that just sex wouldn't take a lot out of me as well, but just any kind of thinking more, like it's taken me a long time to even factor him in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to have more than one would be really difficult for me, especially because people, like you say, they love in different ways and they require different things. Like for me and him to work out what each other's love language is has taken a long time, and communication and that. I don't think I'd have the energy to do that with another person.
I think that's the difference between polyamory as well and polygamy. In polyamory, let's say there's 3 of you, the three of you are in a relationship together, whereas polygamy is like one person's in a relationship with another person, and then there's just this third person that's into
polygamy
one
is
of
when
them.
you're married to other people.
Yeah, but it's
like
say the man's married to bare women, the women don't have a relationship.
yeah.
Oh, that could be a different type of polyamorous relationship as well. So you can maybe only one of them can have like independent relationships, not with the other couple as well. So there's different types, but
That's from the video that you sent.
A throuple is definitely when it's three people together.
That's like a closed
the three of you.
polyamorous relationship. But open one can be like they can also have like their own independent relationships with a few different people.
It's all just too much.
Yeah,
and the other thing that jumped out at me as well, sorry to cut you, Jade, is that like polyamory, without coining the term, it's happening all the time. People just don't know it.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
I was thinking
bare
this.
man have got bare gal, and they are not telling the girl.
Even
because
just
that's
or polygamy is happening all the time.
I was thinking,
just
especially like open
relationships.
relationships.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you first start dating, you're actually kind of dating a few. Well, typically people can be dating a few people at the same time when they're like getting to know someone. Technically, that's kind of I guess it's when it's consensual. So
exactly,
if they knew,
that's the thing. Yeah.
But I mean, that's basically an open relationship.
I do.
It is.
No.
You ain't claim me. You're
yeah.
single till you're not.
Yeah, but in an open relationship, that's sort of what it is as well.
But if you've been seeing them, you've dated them a long time, you like.
Yeah, but you
know,
haven't
kind
asked
of...
me to be your girlfriend, which means I'm still free to play in these streets.
That's where I differ. See, for me, from day we
If
like
you
like
say
each
to
other,
me,
that's
look,
it.
Kadisha, I want to make this official. I want you to be my girlfriend, and then I'm like, cool, but I'm going to see Darren on the weekend. So what are you saying?
Yeah, I suppose,
that's different. You're
But
single
if,
until
like-
you're not.
She does always say that. And something that really stuck with me from the Red Table Talk was when Willow was saying about how Willow Smith.
I can't believe how old she is now. You know.
How old is she?
She's 18, but she looks like a big woman. She
I don't
talks
think
like a
she
big
does.
woman.
She does talk like a big woman.
I thought she was like 23. I thought
She's
she
got
was
a lot of
Yeah.
like knowledge around
Yeah,
her.
she
Come
does,
on,
she
she's
does.
the kid of Will and Jada.
Lucky sod.
100%.
What she said was how relationships are a stem on or a less concentrated version of a marriage, and a marriage traditionally is about property, which is true.
Yeah,
It's
a
like
lot of
monetary
that can be
gain,
about ownership.
and it's ownership, and it's so true. And I was even talking about this with my boyfriend after I watched Red Table Talk, and I was saying like,
Did you watch it together?
no.
Oh.
Not this one. He's like really. I watched a polyamory film with him, program with him once, and he the whole time was just kissing his teeth. So
Do you know what the thing is
So
though?
I
I
couldn't.
really feel like you'd be able to like convince him into it if you wanted to.
yeah.
I feel like if you wanted to, I feel like he would. I feel like he would at least try.
Maybe. But when I was talking about it with him actually, so I said to him, do you agree, like what I just said to you, which is that like ownership, because what upsets me, the idea of him being with another girl, is I feel like I own you and you are mine. I don't like something else to be around you because you're mine, and vice versa. But that is just because society's told us this, really.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, it's true. And I was like, exactly. So imagine there was a thing where we knew in ourselves that I am yours and yours are mine, but that isn't part of it, that's not one of the rules or one of the boundaries. Could we meet? And he was like, yeah, well, we would never know because it's so ingrained now.
The wife said on Red Table Talk, isn't it? She said, I don't fear that him talking to other people is going to take away from me because I'm so secure in myself and him that I know that
it would only better our relationship.
Yeah, we're still for each other at the end of the day, which is commendable, but not for me.
I do think that I agree because it's like a lot of the time people don't get into it because one of the things they say is I'm scared like what if they find someone else, what if they have a connection with someone else, but like that's, do you know what I mean? I feel like that would then you would know that they're not in a relationship just because they're scared they won't find someone better. Yeah, a lot of people stay in a relationship because they think, oh, what, no one's gonna love me what she does, or like I'm not gonna find someone better. Whereas if you're in a relationship, you know that they are with you because they want to be with you 100% because like they could, you know what I mean,
easily go. Yeah, fair enough. Do you understand the point of like the guy in Red Table Talk? He said that he would get turned on by watching men hit on his wife.
Yeah, I don't know what I think about that.
I have a funny story.
Go ahead.
Okay,
please,
so
boy.
Typically, I hate to think that the guy I'm with even has a past. Like, don't tell me about her. Ew, like, I hate her. I don't even know who she is, but yeah. So, but then recently, a guy I was dating, like, we'd be talking about our past and our past experiences, whatever. And I'm nosy, so I like to ask questions.
Oh,
and
hell no, I don't want to know.
I would ask, like,
questions.
I know something simple like, oh, if you had a threesome, and then he'd be like, yeah, and I'd be like, go on, tell me more. And like I was interested to know, which has never happened to me before. Even I was like, do I want to know? Yeah, I do want to know. Tell me more. And then like he would tell me, but because normally when you tell a girl something, you know she wants to know, but she doesn't want to know.
Yeah.
So you would just give them like the surface level story.
10%.
But then he'd give me that piece of the story, and I'd be like, and did you like it? And then what happened? And then what? And then do you know what I mean? And I was really interested, and like, I don't know if it turned me on, but
It
didn't turn me off, which is new for me. Whether it's just him as a person, because I don't know if I was to meet somebody else if I would feel comfortable, but in that situation, that was like a revelation to me that I could even sit and listen to you talking like this about other people. And I would ask like all different types of questions. Like I found out quite a bit, and I was like, not turned off, like you say, which is strange.
Funny you should say that, because at the beginning of my relationship, I hated any idea of that with any like ex, or I couldn't take it. But now, because we've got to a place where I feel secure about the fact that he has a past and he vice versa, we can have these kind of conversations, and it makes me feel like I know him more and I understand him more, and it's not it's not a turn on, but I just feel a bit more secure.
Yeah.
So that is definitely something. But I don't still see, like, I can't imagine a world where I'd be getting turned on by watching girls move to him, because I want to punch up girls anytime I see that.
Yeah.
Even in the club, I was ready.
I don't know how I
gosh.
feel. I mean, I just feel like they can like hit on him.
But would that
So,
turn you on?
do you know
Would
what
it
would
turn
turn
me
me
on?
on? To watch him turn them down.
Yes.
Yeah, but that is part of it. That's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might
That still wouldn't turn me on.
that not turn me on, but that might give
Reassure
me like
you.
an ego boost, or
Yeah, I
like
think that's
reassure
what it
me, or
is.
make me feel like some sort of fanny flutters or something. I don't know, but
That's not a term that we're carrying on, please.
it is
Oh.
it's sticking.
But yeah, my ex was used to like when people would hit on me, he would like it. Like he would enjoy it. I don't know. I didn't ask no questions.
I don't know
but-
a guy that would like it if
No,
if
but
a guy was
that's
hitting on me.
interesting.
But I think that's the ego thing, because he'd be like, yeah, like they like my girl. That means like, do you know what I mean? I've got what they want, kind of thing. I think it was more of like an
But
ownership
it's a
thing.
okay, fine. Because I was gonna say it's a security thing, because be secure in himself.
Yeah.
To know that like
yeah.
he's hitting on my girl. My girl's not gonna stray.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I
Whereas,
think if that's the part about being secure. So if you know for a fact that you two are for each other, and no matter what happens, his head's not gonna turn,
Yeah.
my head's not gonna turn. It doesn't matter what happens, so I feel like you can just dust it off your shoulder and just like.
But that can kind of be put into the polyamorous relationship, do you know what I mean? Because if you know that you two have something so special that
No, but
like,
that's different.
like it's the relationship. So say I can imagine, because if you think someone is so special, like who they are is so amazing, but like you obviously you can bring someone, you can like them, da da da. But if you still have that person that like, do you know what I mean? You
Okay,
are still
how
talking to
is
each
that
other and you're
different?
communicating with each other about everything.
how is that different to someone having a partner than a side team?
Yeah.
That is like a polyamorous relationship. I
No,
would
it's
say.
not.
Or like
It's
an
the
they
same
don't know
open,
about it.
open relationship. Oh, so that's the difference. They have to know about it.
How is that different to cheating?
Because if you're communicating and you're
Question.
telling them, but agreement, like what's it called?
Yeah, but I could feel so
Boundaries.
secure that my man is gonna come home back to me after a long night of cheating. That shit don't make me feel good.
A lot of girls are like that.
Yeah, but it has to be
Yeah.
consensual. That's it. It's
So some
all
girls
consensual.
will say that.
That's
They'll be like,
the
at least
thing.
he's coming home to me. Bitch, like,
If it has
he's
to be
still been out.
consensual, everyone agrees of what's going on. Everyone is aware of what's going on. Everyone agrees of what's going on.
There's a difference between being consensual, because consensual just means it happens and nothing happens. There's no consequence.
It means that you've
Or
agreed.
be happy about it. Like,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
girls have to be
that's what I
happy.
mean.
Like
You
she's
have
not
to
happy when she
accept
says
and
that,
say
No.
yes.
but she's just accepting
Yeah,
it
because she
knows
knows.
she can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she just wants to keep him around.
Yeah.
See, I don't feel like she consented. It just happened, and she just like didn't
She
have a
took
go
it.
at him. But if she'd actually been like, yes, like I agree, like you can go out and you can do that. That's like to me is what consent is.
I definitely agree that you can have different people and love them in different ways,
I
and
agree.
it is silly to think that one person can provide everything for you.
Yeah, think of the
Mm,
pressure
I
to
agree.
put on someone that like you have to be everything that I've ever wanted.
And we do that, because I was even thinking today, with me and my relationship, I can't imagine being with anyone else. But is that because he's the most like amazing person for me in every single way, or is it because we've molded each other to do what each other wants? How do you know?
Bit of a sticky one still.
Where's all these terms
Because
coming
in
from
the
today?
beginning,
Year
wouldn't
5.
that be because in the beginning of the relationship to see how if you two, do you know what I mean? Was it straight away or was it over time? Then you, do you know what I mean? These things kind of.
Well, I think
came together.
initially, because you can never tell, because initially you're trying to be each other's perfect person, because you're both like excited and blah blah blah. You don't really face hardship. Typically, I don't know, like every relationship's different, but in our situation, it was just like fun and games.
I think it depends, you know. I feel like, you know, some people when they say like, oh, don't go looking for the other half of you in another person. Be whole and then share your company with that person. So I feel like it depends if when you meet that person you're not whole. Because if you're whole and you know yourself, then when you meet this person, like, and they're whole and they know themselves, there's not really any moulding to happen.
You can
do you know what I mean?
see either it works or it doesn't.
Exactly. Whereas I feel like if you're both still getting to know yourselves as you're together, like you're getting to know each other at the same time as well, then you will kind of mould and make a new shape. Do you know what I mean?
And that's why I really, really have a problem with people getting into relationships young.
Yeah, I do think that could be
because you can't know yourself.
When I see school kids at the bus stop holding hands, I'm just like, honey,
First thing I think is
I've been there.
Because they're in their school uniforms and they're hot and it's the end of the day and Lord knows what else is happening.
Oh my god.
And the second thing I think is bless them.
Yeah, literally, bless them.
Because they think that's real life.
They think it's real life. And it's just like, how many boyfriends did I have in school that I don't talk to now?
I mean, that was me one day. That was me back in the day.
Yeah, I remember being at the bus stop. I should have been home half an hour ago, but I'm here at the bus stop with you, lipsing up.
I never did that, literally. I was never
really
because my mum told me I'm not allowed.
Yeah,
yeah, so did mine.
My mum was like, "Can you get a boyfriend, please? You're too wild. Like, you need to go and get a boyfriend."
You're
I was like, so I did.
Oh my god.
Is it stereotypical if I say white people?
No, I've go on.
I mean, this is the pod where it happens most.
It's just not
what
living
we
my
say.
house.
And also, like, for some people, having like a monogamous relationship doesn't come naturally to them. Do you know what I mean? If you're happy in the relationship,
is that
fine.
not just an excuse?
I know some people just really struggle with it, and that means they end up cheating and like they try. Like, I was reading about it. And
but is that why, or is it because they actually have other insecurities? Like the majority of men and women that cheat is because of their own insecurities, their own traumas, their own trust issues, their own do you know what I mean, issues that they haven't unpacked. Is polyamorous? That's what I feel sometimes. I feel like polyamory is a plaster. Like, I can't be in a relationship. I'm polyamorous. That's just who I am. Is it not because you've also got X, Y, and Z that you need to deal with, and you're just putting that as a thing, and you can't bother to deal with that, so you'd rather just say you're polyamorous?
It could be.
But I feel like because we're mixing up these terms so much, because I feel like for polyamory, like, you are in a relationship, you're in like more than one relationship, do you know what I mean? So it's not that like you can't be in a relationship because you're in more than one, so that would make sense. But open relationships, like,
that's what I mean when I say polyamory.
Yeah, like, I get it. I guess some people can maybe like mask that up and be like, oh, you know what? I just want to be in an open relationship. I don't want. Yeah, let's just like, let's just be open. Let's just sleep with loads of people and see other people. Blah blah blah. Blah. But I mean, at the end of the day, when I was looking up, it was saying that ultimately there is a couple there, but you do see other people. But yeah, ultimately you are still with one kind of person. But yeah, I get you. I feel like it can be used as an excuse.
Yeah, and but sometimes people don't even know the term to be using that. But I know if like the Manda knew about open relationships and polyamory, this and blah blah, you'd be hearing that all over Twitter.
And do you know what the thing is as well? I feel like a lot of people like the idea of open relationships when it's them, the one that's in control. Because if I was with a guy and he was like, yeah, I just want to be in an open relationship, and I turn around and be like, I'm not coming home tonight. Where are you going? Oh, I'm going on a date. He would not be happy.
I think that's why I do agree with it, because I feel like finally time is actually on our side in terms of like the times that we've been through. And women, if they are using this to their not their advantage, but if they are the ones saying this is me,
it is empowering,
then it's brilliant. I'm for that. But I will say as well that I do think it's just pondered to me as I was going. I don't know if you'll agree with this, Kadisha. You probably won't, knowing you, but I feel like it sort of is a race thing as well. And I'm not trying to say that that's the card I'm using for everything, but if you think about it, as a woman of colour, I feel like already I'm like lowered in comparison to a white girl in many ways, in a lot of men's eyes. And if I am in front of them, it will be for a fetish reason. Do you know what I mean? So for me to then finally get someone and then have the idea of that person saying to me that they want it to be open and they want to have multiple this and blah blah, all I'm going to think is a comparison, and I'm inadequate and I'm this and I'm that. Whereas if you're a white girl and you've never had to I'm not saying they've never felt any kind of inadequacy, but racially you've never felt anything like that, it might be easier for you to be like, open.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I get you. Yeah.
I That's just, but I'm not trying to say but that was something that instantly, because that's what I feel with like white feminism. Yes, 100% there's glass ceilings that need to break, but when you take a look into cultures and you look into like African backgrounds, Asian backgrounds, it's a lot different.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? There's a
like,
lot
if you've
more
grown
layers
up
to
feeling
it.
like everyone always, they're always going for the white girls, do you know what I mean? And you felt less than, and then you're in a relationship, you found someone, and then they go for like, they're getting on the side with another white girl, you'd be like, wait, maybe like, I shouldn't feel as secure as I do then, like, am I not enough? And it could kind of bring up a lot of those things.
For sure. That was something that definitely, when I was thinking about it properly, I was like, is it a accident here that all the faces I'm seeing or all the podcasts I'm hearing are all of white women when they're speaking?
I'm going to interject.
I know, you're going to be devil's advocate. You? No.
I just might. What you've just said, I feel like, is a very valid point. However, you're speaking on the UK only. What about in India, where it still happens?
True,
and everyone's Indian, or
Yeah.
Africa, where it for sure happens, and in the Caribbean, where it 1,000% happens.
Yeah, very true.
Where everyone is just the same colour and the same race, and sometimes the girl that you see and that's not you is not even nice. And you're like, well, what is wrong with me for you to go there? Like, so.
Yeah, but one of the things I read is like you have to try not to compare the relationships. Like that's kind of the key. Like you cannot compare, otherwise it drives you nuts.
Because everyone gets something different from different.
Yeah, you have to just be secure. Like this is the relationship. This is what's going on with us. And I guess that's why you have the rules in place. Like if it does bother you, like I think one person they agreed that they wouldn't like meet the other person that they were with, the person that their partner was seeing, or like they wouldn't have them on Facebook because it could make them jealous, or like.
But then
I guess
is that a relationship then, or is that having a
but
side
each
chick
one
that you know about?
So, you guys watch Black Mirror, yeah? The Strike Your Vipers one with the game. So obviously he was having that gaming relationship with his friend that got out of control, and she felt not trapped in the relationship, but she felt like something was missing. And then at the end of the episode, obviously they got a day each where they could step out and do their own thing. So what would you call that?
I was happy with that.
They're monogamous for 364 days of the year, and then the one day they get to do their own thing.
I think that's brilliant.
But his isn't a real thing, and hers is.
That's fine. If he's okay with that, absolutely fine. Because his is still mad.
And so wait, you would be okay, let's imagine that his was a real thing and hers was a real thing. Would you be okay in that situation where, you know, for majority of the year, apart from one day, you're together as a two, and then one day you get to step out?
Yeah.
You would allow that?
If I was in their situation of, don't forget, they're married for how many years, they have children, their lifestyle is a lot more different to how my relationship is right now.
Shoes then.
Yeah, 100%.
You would.
I think polyamory or open relationships and all of the above is very, very key to maintaining a long-term relationship.
Obviously, I can't imagine being in this situation because I'm not married with kids. But, like, yeah, I think it makes sense, yeah. I think that it makes sense.
I can't understand.
Wait, no. Polyamory is not key to having a long-term relationship. I'm not having that. It's not.
I think it can be.
I feel like having your own separate lives, as in you do your thing with your friends, and, like, you live a life and you go to all the basketball games that you want to. You go to all the football games that you want to. If I don't see you for 2 days because you want to go on a holiday with your friends, that's okay. You don't need to be in a relationship or see or do or anything with anybody else. Like, why? What?
I just have the perspective of, we've had a lifetime together, and there's no doubt we love each other 100%. However, if I'm feeling trapped, or if you're feeling you're not going to, things change. People get older. The love's still there, but it's in a different form now. Do you know what I mean? When we were 20, it was hot and sexy. I wanted to rip your clothes off. You wanted to do the same to me. Now we've had kids, and you've seen something coming out of mine. It's changed a bit, and that's not to put women down at all. Women are incredible, and vice versa.
You should go and see a fresh snatched nunny.
Oh my god, I can't even deal with what she's saying right now with the words she's coming out with. But
is that what you're telling me?
Maybe it's not even about that. Maybe it's just intimacy of conversation. Honestly, things are different and things change, and you need to meet each other on different levels. And it's very rare for two people, completely different people, opposite sex as well, to grow in that direction and be able to give each other that for the rest of their lives.
Okay, question. I can't remember if it was you guys that I had the conversation with, but there was this rich woman in America, true story. And she was like the first black millionaire to do XYZ, can't remember. She's got this husband that she was with, and she's getting sick. I think she's got dementia. Yeah. Was it us talking about it?
No, but I heard about it.
So she's got dementia or something. She's getting sick. She's losing her memory. She can't really do things by herself anymore.
He's moved the girl in.
And he started seeing this side chick. Bearing in mind, the woman who's sick is the millionaire.
Yeah, she pays his bills.
And she pays his bills and his lifestyle. Then she's getting sick now, so he's stepped out. and started seeing this side chick. And he's moved this side chick into this woman's house.
Oh, hell.
And she's
And,
watching
this woman is paying for their lifestyle while she's sick. And because she's too sick to like speak on it or act, he's telling the world she's okay with it. We're polyamorous. We're cool. Like, he didn't say the word polyamorous. I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, he said like, she's cool. She knows the situation. She's fine with it. So why have you not got a problem? Meanwhile, this woman like can't even speak for herself anymore. So what's your thoughts on that?
Obviously, that is ridiculous because she is unable to give
like
consent
you just
properly.
said, life changes. She's not able to have an intellectual conversation with him anymore. So
then they should have cut off at that point where she was unable to have an opinion to say.
So how is that different to what you, when you said when
Things
you were
change.
saying things change, you've seen things come out of me, and sometimes we're
Yeah.
not on the same
Yeah,
page.
And
still
then we
able
have a
to
conversation.
consent.
We
Yeah.
have a conversation, and you say, "Look, I'll be honest with you. I love you deeply, but I want X, Y, and Z." And then whoever says whatever they want, and you come to an agreement. If one person in that conversation isn't happy, then it can't happen. Obviously, then
So
if it happens,
wouldn't-
you have got to break up.
100%, yeah.
There's got to be 100% agreement on the. And I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. Like there's stages to it. Obviously, you can't go from being in a committed monogamous relationship with just you two to him out on the lash and you sleeping with someone else. Obviously, it's going to be in stages, but 100% I can see like the benefit of it in that way. And also, like me and Jade were saying yesterday, we were having a conversation about it. Certain times, things like, you know, chemically, hormonally happen with women where they go through the menopause, or even like certain times of the month. You don't have a sex drive, you don't want to have sex, and vice versa. Like the men can be going through stuff, and if you are in a relationship, you can love that person that way, but you also might want, do you know what I mean, intimacy elsewhere and stuff, and it can be good for that purpose. And then the partner might be happy with that. I remember, like, do you know what? I can't fulfill you that way. I'm glad you're getting it somewhere else. That can happen.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Khadija, then about having maybe a couple where like you are both like, say you find someone like you're so in love with the person you're with, you find someone and you're still like, and you love them as well. Like, okay, say maybe, do you know what? Let's start with this.
Yeah.
You're dating two people, but they're both so amazing. You can't even pick. They're both so amazing. Like they both have different things that you just really love about them, and like you kind of just keep it going. You kind of keep it going, and in the end, you tell them, you're like, look, I have to tell you, like I'm kind of seeing you both. Like I love you both, and you all meet up. And they were like, yeah, do you know what? I think he's so cool. Like, I think like he's, or maybe if it was, I don't know if you prefer to go for like, if you would ever go with girls as well. But like, so say if you were just so in love and then you all just loved each other and it was just working out so well.
Or just
you all
loved
just
each
got
other.
on and
Me
like,
and two guys.
or like,
Yeah,
or you and a girl and a guy.
Time out. No. So.
Do you think you can love two people at once?
Yes.
So then,
No.
Oh,
Sorry,
this is
Jada
just,
Pinkett.
This
No.
is just. I was going to say this exactly.
No.
You're Jada.
No.
You're Noah. And I'm Willow.
That was a trick trap question. No, I'm not falling for it. I'm going to rewind a little bit. Yes, I do believe you can love two people, but for different things. However, I know in myself, I would always have a favourite. And it would have to be that favourite that I went for.
but what if you didn't?
I would.
What if there was one favourite one week,
I
one
know
favourite the other
me.
week, one favourite one week, one favourite the other week?
This is just
Nah,
going to take too much
like
time.
something in me would just know. Like,
Yeah,
I
but
might,
is that because you've been conditioned that way?
possibly, but it's too late now. I'm conditioned that way.
Yeah, I agree.
So possibly, but something in me would just know that, like, I love like things about you, but I love you. Do you know what I mean? Because like, you know when they say you never stop loving an ex, like they will always have a place in your heart. I believe that to be true, but like the love is different to the person I might be in love with now.
Yeah, but is that because we're told we have to choose? Imagine you don't have to choose.
Well, this is the thing in life. Yeah, if I see like two jumpers, one's pink and one's white,
What if you can have them both? Like, all the money
I
in the
will
world?
get both.
Yeah.
Because I can't pick and I'm very indecisive in that way. But when it comes to like relationships and liking people, I find it hard to multi-date because
That's
number
because you
one,
feel bad,
I
though.
can't keep up with the damn conversation. Like I'll start being like, oh, so yeah, how's work in finance? They'll be like, I'm an actor. I'll be like,
What if you're in a group chat?
what?
Do you know what I mean? You're in a group chat. You don't even need to keep up the conversation because it's all just
Right.
in one.
I think
No.
Tanisha's made it pretty clear.
Yeah.
Wait, I do
Yeah.
have one
Do
last
you know what the
question
thing
though.
is? I'm not opposed to it. I do understand why people could do it, and if it works for you, good for you, babe. But it's just
Or
not for
guy.
me.
Good for you,
I have one last question. What if you were married? You loved them bare, but it just wasn't working out anymore, and like you were almost basically going to get a divorce, or want to try something. Like it was just fizzled out. You still loved who they were. Everything was great, but you just don't feel. You just feel like something's missing. You're just not
I'm
happy.
not a tree. I'll move. So if I'm married to you and it's not there and I'm not happy, like I'm not glued to you. I can still leave.
Okay.
Yes, we're married, but I would just leave.
Okay, so if obviously...
I would work on it, obviously, and I would try my very, very best, because marriage is
But
marriage.
what if it's like nothing was wrong?
Well, something's got to be wrong.
It's just fizzled out.
And I think as well, because I know that I can put up with a lot in any life situation, so relationships included. So if I knew that that was what I wanted, I would, I fought for less, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if it's my marriage, I'm going to fight.
Fair enough.
I feel like polyamory is just an easy way out. No?
No, I don't.
I think it's a lot of hard work, and I think it's a lot of
polyamory.
trust.
Fucking hell, that's a myth, because that's the actual relationship. Like, you've got to have a full-on relationship, and then that's too mad for me. Like, just
But if it's not a
literally my
relationship,
energy.
then it's just sex.
No, open relationships. That's what an open relationship is.
But then it would just be sex then.
Maybe, yeah.
Then, no. That's even worse. For me.
Yeah, I don't know. I just have the perspective of, like, you know, it's a drop in the ocean in comparison to a lifetime. Do you know what I mean? Like, I always encourage other couples and stuff to have breaks in their relationship if things are going a bit mad.
It's like saying cheating's
like
less worse than an affair.
No, because it's not cheating. Cheating is when the other
No,
person
I'm just
is
saying
being
cheating
betrayed.
in comparison to an affair.
Yeah.
Cheating, you prefer to be cheated on than to have somebody to have an affair on you, right?
No, I think the same thing to me.
You think they're the same thing?
Yeah, both betrayal. Betrayal is betrayal in my eyes, and I just see it as long as everybody is okay with everything, and no one's getting betrayed. When you have when you say it out loud and you put it to somebody, you then have a choice. The person has a choice. When you lie, you rob that person of the choice, and that's why people get angry from cheating, because I wasn't even in the choice.
I agree.
So when you put it on someone's say, and you're like, look, I want to be open, or whatever, that person can say no if they want, and that's it, and then they'll move forward from there.
No, I agree.
So then, therefore, it's not.
I'm just saying, I'll be the one to say no.
Exactly, that's fine, and that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
One last thing on this. So when I spoke about it with my boyfriend, he was like, the biggest thing he had against it was when you start doing that, people start having kids, but you don't know whose is who, and then this kid is going to grow up confused and blah 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 blah. My point to that was, number one, that already happens, because there's men and women out there having bare kids by different people and whatever, and the kid's growing up without a mum and dad in a secure place, and they don't have a relationship with this one, and blah, 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 blah. Number two, I am a strong believer of it taking a village, and if there is a strong unit of a mum and two dads, or a dad and two mums, or whatever, a throuple, a quadruple, whatever, I see it as the more love, the more hands, the better.
I don't know what I think about that. Yeah, I think I would have to see the psychological effect that has on the child, and like I'd need to read more about that.
I agree that it takes a village, and the more love for the child, the better. But I'm also a strong believer of, I didn't lay down with you, so you shouldn't rely on my help to help you with that child. You know what I mean? Yes, I'll be there if I can, but I don't want it to be my responsibility to. I think this is another reason. Slightly off topic, but you know, growing up when you've got siblings and you feel a bit resentful towards them because I didn't choose to have you, and now I have to look after you. I can't go out this Saturday because I have to. So people having kids, yes, it's good for you, but then don't come and put that burden on me.
But that's why in a polyamorous relationship they would all have to agree to have a kid together, I suppose.
Exactly. But then one person could turn around and be like, oh, I don't.
That could happen in a normal relationship, like a heterosexual relationship, or even a two homosexual relationship. It can happen. That's what I'm saying. It happens already. That's how I see it. And I don't think the trauma that you're saying, like psychologically or whatever, I don't think that would be any worse than how kids are messed up from their current situations.
That's true.
It's still not okay though. It's saying just because it's not worse, it's still not good.
Yeah, but what is good?
Not being messed up.
Yeah, but is anyone not messed up?
Yes. Jade's fine.
I knew that.
Oh,
we're
do you
not
know what?
going
Yeah,
down this
I'll
road
take
again.
it. I'll have it. If I'm the prime example, I'm
Jade's
taking
fine.
it. You're so
She doesn't seem traumatized by
sweet.
anything apart from her 12-year-old birthday party.
Oh, you remembered.
Oh yeah, I forgot what that was about. No, I think everyone has trauma. Jade.
Stop forcing it. She's fine. Don't force it. If you're fine, you're fine.
I mean,
She's forcing it now. She's looking deep.
Alright, fine. Fair enough.
It's
fair
okay.
enough.
Obviously,
and
everyone
no,
has
but the
issues,
thing is,
but, like-
the thing is, trauma's so normalized that people are like, you must have trauma, but it's that's how it should be. You should live a life of happiness and like.
yeah,
Do you know what
obviously
I mean? No
not.
stress.
Obviously, I had like traumas and stuff, but
Yeah, obviously everyone has bad things happen to them, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's trauma.
yeah,
fair
yeah,
enough,
it's
fair
not
enough.
like
Maybe that's a
lasted
different
with
pod
me
for a
through
different
time.
day.
Yeah.
Defo.
Like, you know, the difference between trauma and the bad bits of that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we've pretty much talked
Yeah.
about this. Do you think are some deal breakers for you then for relationships? Consider, let's just say like no one here is doing polyamory anytime soon. What is a deal breaker for relationships? Can you do the whole you are partying on a party holiday and your partner isn't, and vice versa? How does that feel for you? Because obviously, as a person going Fresh Island next week, why don't you tell us about that if you're there?
So when I was 18, I had a serious boyfriend, and well, I say serious, he definitely cheated on me multiple times, but at the time I didn't know this. I knew, but I was naive. So I was going to Ayia Napa, and this was my first ever holiday period, and it was my first ever girls' holiday. There was 6 of us, and obviously Ayia Napa. So we went, and 3 of the girls I went with had been to Malia the previous year. So I think it was either upstairs or next door in our hotel was 6 boys that they met in Malia. No, they met 3 boys who brought 3 new boys.
So they plan to go out Napa together as well?
No, it just happened. I know. So like, because we all just sort
Not
of like,
really. Them times everyone would go to them holidays all the time.
Yeah, true. But it was very ironic. So obviously we all just like grouped together. Everywhere they went, we went, and vice versa. And then like, not that it was like every man to a gal, but
the numbers matched.
But basically, so like everyone sort of like had their one that they would like.
Everyone coupled up, cracked on.
Basically, but like
because
I was in a relationship, so I was just like maybe flirting or whatever, and definitely there was one that I did like.
Oh.
And
so there was one night that
and I was like, no, I didn't sleep with anybody or kiss anybody or do anything like that.
Because sleeping isn't just a baddie, kissing, touching.
Yeah, I didn't do anything like
talking.
that. But I was very flirty, and I was very touchy-feely. As in, like,
you wouldn't like that.
I was on the back of his moped, like gripsing him up, like good times. Yeah, so I like whenever we went anywhere, I would always be walking with him, whatever. And initially, he even liked one of the other girls that I was with, but I was like, no, I need him to like me because I like him.
And into
And
open relationship
I had a
things.
boyfriend. I know.
Do these things.
New year, new me. I'm older now. Yeah, so I liked him a lot. So then, but we was in Ayia Napa for a week.
And in this time, were you talking to your boyfriend? Were you calling him? Because I know them times was
He
like
was not ready
FaceTime.
for that.
I'm busy.
So there was
This
FaceTime.
was 2012.
No FaceTime.
No FaceTime.
Boy.
Yeah. So then I was doing everything together, and the whole time we was just like, and he lived. The boys were from London. We was obviously from Leicester.
Oh, even more exotic.
Literally. Literally, like, and they were all just like chocolatey chocolate, and it was just the best. That goes down in history. That was my best holiday
Are
ever.
you trying to remake that this year in Croatia?
Nah.
Oh my god, I hope it's recorded. Please carry on.
That's
I want to hear
Difference
what the
is,
boyfriend
I'm
did.
trying to go.
Come on,
The
please.
difference is, I'm going to Croatia single, so it's different.
Alright.
But okay, so when we came back to England, I stayed in touch with that guy, and we were texting back and forth. But it was like just like harmless, like what's happening, what's going on, blah blah blah. When you come to London, I think when we got back, Carnival shortly after, we went to London every year. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be coming for Carnival, blah blah blah. I think we even stayed at his house, but it wasn't just me. It was like me and my friends. So I think we all was going to or something like that. But anyway, we all met up again when we came to London, and it was just a vibe. And then like, just so happened that my boyfriend was like getting messy with his ways, and like we ended up breaking up about a couple months after I got back. So then I started to see this guy more, and then we actually ended up in a relationship. It didn't last that long. It lasted about, I don't know, maybe 6 months. Obviously it was long distance because I lived in Leicester, so I would just go up every now and then. We would talk every day. He came to my flat in Leicester, yeah, he came to see me in Leicester. And it was just really nice, and like we actually got along like as friends, because obviously we had to be friends, and I didn't do anything with him while I was in a relationship. It was only when I was single that I actually made moves. And when we got back, I don't think I was really flirty either. I was only flirty on holiday because, you know, the sun gasses you. So, but yeah, we actually ended up in a relationship for a while, and then I think it just didn't work out. We just worked better as friends, and then we lost contact, and then we found contact again like years later, and it was just like, oh, how's life?
So knowing
that's
that,
mad.
would you be able to have a boyfriend who went on the similar holiday?
I think it comes with age and maturity, so I feel like, yeah.
So what to me, that is cheating. Do you guys count that as Kanisha's actions as cheating?
Huh?
Definitely.
Huh?
Definitely.
100% you're a cheater.
If my boyfriend done that, done.
Over.
Wait a minute.
Flirty, touching, and
Flirty,
continuing.
touching, even just giving them the idea that
Thank
something
you.
can happen,
Thank you.
you're a cheater.
100%. Okay, let me ask you this: if he had gone to Napa and done that with a girl and been
Babe, he was doing that shit in Leicester.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah,
knows.
yeah,
was that why you were doing it then?
No, because I didn't know at the time.
Okay, fine. So you didn't know at the time. So he's gone to wherever and he's doing that and whatever. You find out somehow. How does it make you feel?
Yeah, I'd feel uncomfortable.
Betrayed.
Just say you would hate it.
Do you know why I don't feel bad about it? Because I know what.
Because you done it.
No, because I know that all the things that he was doing to me now. So now I don't feel a bit of remorse.
Yeah.
If you'd have asked me this before I knew, maybe I would feel bad and I'd be able to put the shoe on the other foot and be like, okay, maybe I know what that you shouldn't be flirting. I appreciate that you should not be flirting when you're in a relationship. Period.
Yeah.
Whether you're on holiday or not.
Especially on holiday.
Yeah, whether you're on holiday
That gives
or
you
not.
way more
I
ideas
agree.
of
Yeah,
this
yeah,
escape.
for sure, for
oh,
sure.
Yeah. Oh.
Like anything, I feel like
Blood
anything
boil.
that you wouldn't be comfortable. But the thing is, when I came back, I did tell him about like we met those guys. We spent the time with my friend, who he was also his friend, because we were all friends basically, and yeah. So I told him that we met these guys. We was with them all the time, showing him pictures. The guys in pretty much every single picture I'm showing him, and he was like, "Why is this guy in all your pictures?" And I was like, "We're just friends, innit?" And so he didn't need to know the nitty gritties. But then there wasn't really any nitty gritties to tell, was there?
Clearly there was the flirting, the touching, the misleading.
When I say touching,
on the back of the
I mean
moped.
like we would just be closer than than I was with the rest of the guys. So if it was in a pool, like.
Well, if the other girls were actually cracking on.
But they weren't. They weren't.
Alright, well, look.
We was all just friends. Nobody cracked on.
You said it yourself. You said it yourself. You wouldn't have felt comfortable. I think we'll leave that there from you.
I feel
How
like for
would
me,
you
I'm typically like very secure, like in my relationship. Like if I'm with you, you can go on all the boys' holidays that you like, as long as I'm secure enough in our relationship. Like if I'm feeling like a bit worried about it, to me that would be a warning sign that there's like mistrust in our relationship or there's something else, like, because I typically am very trusting, probably to a fault, you know. I'd be very trusting, they'd probably be cheating on me out there, and I'd just be like, oh, it's fine, have fun with your mates, like. But
His mate's called Joanna.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I'm trying to think. But to be honest, I think that the type of person that I'd be looking for right now wouldn't be someone that's going out all the time, going on all these lads holidays anyway. So I just feel like if that's what they were doing, we probably wouldn't be like too compatible anyway, because that's just not what I'm looking for. But yeah.
I suppose that's because you're not like that though, as well.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I thought you was gonna say the type of person that I'm gonna be with would just respect me enough to not disrespect me in the country, out the country. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but no one ever expects them that they're gonna.
Because if I was in a relationship now and I'm going to Croatia, he would have nothing to worry about. I would not be the same. I was 18. It was my first holiday. I was gassed, and they were from London. I was from Leicester. I'm around London boys all the time now. They ain't shit.
Literally.
I'm too trusting. This is why I can't be around this fuckery. Like, I would just have to be with someone that's sensible, that would just never do like that. I just can't.
But then you might get bored.
No, because partying does not equal not being
Then
bored.
you're gonna look into polyamory.
Love that.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't need to be party lifestyle for it to be
Fun.
not. Yeah.
True.
Anyways, what do you think?
As you know, my boyfriend does go on holidays, but they're not like I make them seem like they're like lads, Napa and whatever, and they're not. It's just because he's with only his boy mates and they are going clubbing that I make it seem like it's that, but it's actually not. He's going to like sophisticated places and whatever. My issue isn't that he goes out, because he goes out here and it's cool. My issue is that the guys he's with are single, so no one there has any kind of like worry. Do you know what I mean? They can be cracking on, they can be so there's something in my head
and they might encourage him.
that is
peer pressure is a thing.
Exactly.
He'd be in that position
Yeah,
where he
I
has
think
to
because
wingman.
when I'm going to
Exactly
Croatia,
that.
I actually invited one of my friends from Leicester. She's a mum, but you know she still can go out, and she's got
still shakes her 1-2 leg.
She still shakes her leg, and she's got a fiance. So I was like, "Come." She's like, "I don't really feel like that's a place for me to be," and I was like, well, what's that supposed to mean? And I was a bit offended because I was like,
you're not trying to say I'm loose.
Yeah, what are you trying to say about me? But then I get it because it speaks more about you I feel like it speaks more about you wouldn't feel comfortable in that environment around, because I do believe that people go Croatia for like, if you can go to a club and nothing happens, it doesn't matter what
and
country
that's exactly
you're in.
what he says, 100%. And he's like, you know, like, I wouldn't shoot in here, I wouldn't do it there, definitely. And it is my own insecurities because of things like, I don't know what it is. I don't like the idea of him being somewhere where there's other females that can't openly see he's in a relationship. Yes, it is. I have a problem. No, I just think
you can't trust him enough. That
I know, and
any girl that comes in close, do you know what I mean? You're not even going to entertain them.
I know, but for me, it's ego. It's like I would hate a girl to think that she has any kind of chance. Do you know what I mean? That's what gets to me. And I feel like with him being so far, she's not going to know.
But the thing is, yeah, and she wouldn't know, because even if he was walking down Oxford Street,
he doesn't have a sign on him saying I'm Maya's man.
Exactly, because even when guys move to girls, the first thing they ask is not, do you have a boyfriend? They just assume everyone's single. So
it's kind of true,
like the fact that girls move to guys, number one, is brave enough. Number two, I feel like a girl probably would ask that as a first question, because we don't know how to chat people up. So
I really don't, because I just think that girls, I don't know what's got into them, but there's no.
My friends know how to chat a guy up.
There's certain girls.
Bear girls, not even like a certain type, but bear girls know how to move to.
Yeah, and even like as well, if like you just said,
we've got to talk about this.
Like you said, yeah, but like you said about that guy you were in Napa with, you were like he liked someone else, but you're like, no, you need to like me. Think back to then. When we want something, we can be very like, what girl? What do you mean? Who? Do you know what I mean? You can do that.
I am like that.
Great. So that's what I mean. That's where I worry with it. But yeah, so for me, obviously, it clearly isn't a deal breaker, but it is something where I do feel like about it.
I met with my ex one night. He did go out, and he said he did come back, and he told me I had to wingman, and I was like, it's alright. I was I'm fine with it.
Right, girls, we've got to wrap up. But we are definitely going to talk about this in another episode, part 2, because this was just supposed to be about polyamory. Next, we'll just talk about do's and don'ts in a relationship and what's safe and what's not.
Boundaries.
Boundaries
and
I
rules.
feel like I didn't just say that last bit that I said, but don't worry, in part 2 comes.
Yes. Okay, cool.
I would like to shout out Women of Power. They're a collective, they're a movement, and they host really, really, really good events. The last event I went to in June, and it was really good. It was called Booked, Busy but Broke, which is so relevant because that is my life. I'm always busy, I'm always booked, but I have no money. And Yinka from Radios, she's on their radio station, she was there, and this other girl was there as well. There was really, really good people, and one of the women on the panel was called Tori, and she's the founder of Bricks magazine, which is from Bristol, and it's a really, really good magazine, and it was just a really, really good event. So shout out Women of Power and shout out Tori. I'll put all of their details in the bio.
I'm going to just shout out the Red Table Talk that's on Facebook, all about open relationships, polyamory, Throuples, like the law. I found it really interesting. Yeah, check it out.
Cool. I am going to shout out an event that I went to on the weekend, which was Cass's event. He came on the F Word podcast. His event was called The Idea Midwife, and basically it was a small intimate event. There was about 8 people there, and you go there with an idea that you want to, bring to life, whether it be a business or a product or something that you have an idea but you don't know how to bring it to life business wise. It was just so informative. Like, he gives you a pack to take away, and you just leave with so much knowledge, and you literally leave feeling gassed that you see that your dream is achievable. So shout out Cass for that. And the next one is on the 14th of July. So just Google The Idea Midwife, I guess.
I'll try and find a link from somewhere.
We'll put his Instagram app so that you can find it through his page.
Alright guys, well thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed.
Thank you.
Have a great week.
Take care. Bye.